Hello all, we are here for the lesson number 16 of the VariCAD training course, and this lesson is called Addition of 2D Objects. Here we are going to see about, as the name says, how to edit 2D objects. Among the possible methods of addition we have a particular one, which is the delete. And besides these two topics, we are going to see also about how to edit text. So let us start with this lesson. Again, and still on the 2D side of the VariCAD. And let us start for the easiest one, which is the delete objects capability. And I will draw some entities, no particular care about what I'm doing, and I will concentrate my attention on the edit menu, and then now for the delete on this option here, delete. And the delete can do this command in in singular objects or in multiple objects. In this case I have only consider one polyline. I will draw another kind of object, and I will go again, menu edit, delete, and now I can click. I will do the escape, or if I go again there and do a selection by window, whatever you want, okay, I can select both. After I have my selection correct, I can do the enter or right mouse button or this OK on the selection toolbar, and the delete is complete. Okay, I think it's very easy. It's a basic command. Moving to the second topic of this lesson, which is the edit object geometry. And again on the edit menu, but now I want to come to this edit object geometry, and we are going to see about all these functions here. I will create, to show you, I will create some entities. Okay, I will create another entity. I will use the middle point. I could use another one. It's not very important. It's important for the concept. And seeing the first option, divide by point. Basically, if I create a line here, you know, this is a single entity, but I can split this entity in two or more, but at least I can make one split each time I come here. And this split is done by a selected point. So in this case, first I select the line, then I select the point. I will use, just to be easier, I could use any point of the line or intersection or wherever. In this case I will use the middle point or end point of this second line I've created. So I will give this point here, and the command is done. Now if I cross over this line, before I had just one entity, now I have two. Okay, very easy. And it is important to mention that where this line ends, the other one starts. So it's just a split, like a knife with zero thickness. Okay, so second option, divide by curve. I will come back one command so that I can use the same entity. Okay, so divide by curve, the same philosophy. Now I should use first, as given information, the dividing curve and objects to divide, this one, and okay. What it happened is, again, I have two entities. Okay, split it by this curve here. Third option, the trim command. The trim is something that will cut the excess of an entity. These two first options were the divide or split. Now it's cut operation. So trim, again, I want to cut this portion here, what exceeds this curve, so this portion. So the first instruction to give to VariCAD is to say this will be the dividing or trimming curve, okay? Side to be trimmed, this side and this object, and okay, and it was trimmed, okay? I think it's quite easy. You just have to understand the concept of the clicks, okay? Next option is the extend, and for the extend I need to create again a couple of entities, okay? These two entities do not intersect, so what will happen? It can happen several things, okay? I will create another one here. Extend first the boundary object, it will be this one, and I want to extend this and this. So two different cases. In this case the boundary was on the limits of the object I have. In this case the boundary was done until a virtual extension of the existent object, okay? But both options are available. Next, it's a circle from arc. It's a good option, and we can use, for example, the arc by 3 points. If I have an arc, I can create a circle that this arc belongs with this option here, circle from arc. So arc and okay, and now I have a circle with the initial arc. I have the corner option, which is a good and interesting alternative to the trim, because if I go to the corner, it will trim automatically all the entities involved on this. So if I move closer to the corner, you see this small arrow. So on the arrow, when the arrow is shown, I just click, okay? To show you a little different way, let us make some intersections here. The corner can work like this also. Corner like this, okay? It will trim both. So I can work with the corner also doing the click on the entities. If I click, okay. You can work with this in several ways, okay? I will create a couple of more crossing entities to show you next commands, and these are before the remove segment. It will delete a portion, for example, first endpoint, this and this point. I'm giving random points, but I could use points that I know, and using this object. So I click one point, I've clicked another point, and I've said, okay, this is the object I want to remove a portion, and now I have two objects and the portion in the middle that was deleted. Now I have the chamfer. The chamfer is a little like the corner command, but it creates a chamfer. I can identify the entities involved on the chamfer, clicking or moving closer to the point where I want to make the command. If I do this, then I can give the data, in this case, first chamfer length, second chamfer length, or if I do this, the length and the angle, okay? I will use the length and do the OK, and the chamfer is done. Okay. The exact same purpose for the fillet. It is okay with the arrow or clicking, and now the fillet radius. Okay. And I can give these informations only the first object or the second or both. Okay. And a round entity is created. After all of this, I have a very interesting option, which is the explode. And the explode is a very interesting command because it allows us to explode selected objects in their basic elements. For example, there are a lot of possibilities. I will show you some. For example, if I create a line first, line, all in the same command, what I have in this case, okay, I have something which is a polyline. Okay. If I go to the explode, what it happens, it will kind of unglue of these 4 lines in single lines. Okay, click OK. Now I have single lines. Another possibility to see the same is create a rectangle, and when you create it, if we go to the delete, okay, you see that this is only, it reacts as only one entity. But again, if I go to the explode, rectangle, enter, now single. And this is the same for a lot of entities. Examples, we've seen a couple of things like the arrows, like something that we still did not see, the dimensions, the texts, whatever it is possible to do. It will simplify the complex objects in single and more elementary objects. Another example, and quite interesting, it will be possible to see a little up front in this lesson with the text. I will create a text, a very easy one, no big deal. Okay, just saying VariCAD, and I will use this thing here. So this is a text. It is a little more complex entity than single lines, and you see that this has thickness due to the font that it was chosen. But let us see something interesting, which is edit, explode, and if I do the explode, now it will create more. In this case, it was a bad example indeed, because it did not simplify the objects. But I will show you a little up front another possibility to this command. I will show a different one. Sorry for the example; it was a bad one in this particular case due to the font. But for example, if I go to the etching, which I already show you a little, I will say, okay, this guy here, and okay, it is done. Now you can see that this hatch is a complex entity, even that if we look to it, it seems a group of lines. And if I go to the explode and click on the edge, now it will become single lines instead of a group. Okay, for sure, at this moment the program loses the properties for the edge, but okay, this is something that if for example, I would need to grab in this text and put in the middle, I could cut all these lines to have these texts here. So there are a lot of possibilities, and the strong idea on this is to understand that this explode, it will allow you to simplify a complex object in less complex objects, okay, or elementary objects. We have another option still on this menu, which is the break line. And the break line, basically, it's something with a graphical look for the 2D drawing. So I will create a line. I will select a line, sorry, and I will say in this point, in this point, in this point, the points I want the OK, and I will. It will make me this break line sign that if you know a little about technical drawing, it wants to say that I have a portion of the drawing cut, and I did not show it in my drawing due to the size. An example, if I want to represent a part that was bigger than my format, I could use this kind of symbology in the middle of the part, saying that, okay, this is very big, so it has a couple of meters, for example. I just want to show the end and the initial portions, and in the middle it doesn't matter because the section is the same and the size is too big, okay? It's a graphical sign. In terms of the edition of the 2D objects, I have this done, but I want to show you two more functions which are they are not accessible by icons. You have to write down the option, and one is like this, the Char, C-H-A-R, enter, and basically you can select an arc and saying, hey, I want a new radius, so I would say 50, for example. So it will allow you to change the arc radius. The same for to change the line length, and I can write the CHLL and choose one line, okay, and I can say, for example, 50 also. Okay, for this side or this side, this side. Very good, okay. Okay. And enter, it is good. So this is something that allows you to change the length of the line, and basically we can say that perform the stretch, okay, we can call this. So with these two commands, I think the part of the edit geometry is done, and now I want to show you a little about the addition of text. For that, I will create a new sheet on the 2D, okay, a clean one. I will create some text, and for that I will go to the menu Objects, Draw, Text, a note, very simple one. Okay, I will draw again VariCAD. Okay, put it in the middle. I hope this time with no problems. And I will go to the menu Edit, the last option, Dimensions and Text, and we will see about these portions, these guys here, okay? So the first one is the Edit Text, and the Edit Text, it will allow me to select a text like this one, and basically it will opens me the dialog box window where I've created the text. I can change attributes, whatever. So if I want to create, for example, more characters or not, okay, it is done. Very simple. Another option here is the edit style of selected text. Okay, first it asks me for the text attributes, height, angle, wide, whatever I want, the font, okay. For example, I will change the height, and I say this text here, okay, and it changed me to a different height. Very easy also. Align text, Okay, I can do the align, left align, center or right align. Okay, left one through this point here, this text. Okay, it is done. Very easy also. Another option is the move text vertical. This is an alignment done vertical, and this move distance is a factor of the line spacing, and you must enter the number of the line to move. So I will create some additional text to try to explain you, and I will do this for example, just a couple of lines. Okay, and then one more, 3, and the okay. Sorry. So I will do the option move text vertically, and I want to move this text here. Enter. And it asks me, so what is the text where I'm going to look for the parameters? And I will say this one, okay? And now it says to me number of lines to move, okay? As I told you, is a factor of the line spacing of the text. I said it was the guide. So how many lines you want to move up or down? So I will say move up 2 lines and the OK. So it will move me up 2 lines considering these factors, these parameters of these guys here. So it's not the function that I particularly like, but okay, it's an option for your use also, and I think not too complex. Text wide, we can change the width of the text, okay? And this command change the width of the selected text, as the command says. And basically, this is a ratio of the 2 distance defined by the cursor. And okay, I will indicate this text as the one that is going to be changed. Define old width, so I can say, for example, I will click it a little random, but I think you will understand the concept. So I will say, for example, from this is the old one to this. And okay, what do you want now? I want from this to the middle of this guy here. So you see that completely different, okay? For sure that to be properly done, it should be with measurements and clicking exact points or through coordinates, but this is an example to show you. The last one, it was what I was trying to show you with the explode, okay? We have a particular function to explode text, and the function I tried to show you, it can be done with text, but with another concept, okay? So let us explore this option here. So explode font into segments. The principle is the same, to lower the complexity and to break the entities in more easier ones. So explode, so this is the text. I will move a little closer. This is the text I want to explode, and enter, okay? What it happens now is that now it created me on the letters, it creates polylines with a contour of the letters. This is very useful, for example, if we want to create entities in 3D, or sometimes guys that make engraving in several kinds of materials and in several kinds of applications. They need to have the contour of the letters to pass it to a CNC machine through a CAM software. Okay. An example here is to, I still did not show you the 3D side of this, but I think it's very easy if you see something with this contour. So now I will use the extrude. For example, I will use something a little bigger, and I will use, okay, these profiles, this letter here with this insertion point, not very important. And now I will do the OK, and you see that even that I still did not show you the 3D, but now you see that I have the letter A as a solid in my 3D, and it has a physical shape that I can use to make modeling on the 3D environment. So with this last option, we end the lesson 16, and I hope to see you on the next lesson.